Good afternoon, everybody. So I want to do one of my last videos of the year. Um, the topic I want to talk about today is how much does genetic predisposal have to do with MCS and MCAS, multiple chemical sensitivity and mast cell activation syndrome. Well, I like to start out with this. My great-grandfather, Lacey Homer Stroop, I remember looking at his draft card, and on his draft card it says exempt, and it's got 23 years old, and it says weak lungs below that. So I know he had lung issues. I'm not sure what kind. It just says weak lungs. I'm assuming something similar to myself. And it didn't hit him till later on, I guess, as a teenager or as a young adult. Number two, his brother, William Henry, he had to wear a mask all summer long, or a t-shirt over his face. This was back in the 60s. I remember my grandmother talking about it. He had to wear that mask or that t-shirt because he was so sensitive to the outside. This was long before, a lot of pesticides, and they mostly lived in houses, no insulation. It was before manufactured housing, a lot of the problems that we're dealing with today. But basically, I understand he's pretty much that way his whole life. So that was two family members. It skipped my father's generation, and I guess it got carried on to me. But on my mom's side of the family, my grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother, she had asthma, and she passed away with pneumonia when she was in her 60s. And my grandmother's brother, Don, he went to work for a furniture factory when he was about my age. When I first started working, about 17, 18 years old. And he worked there roughly 5 years. His asthma got a lot worse. And I don't know if it was from the wood grain or things that they used, stains or what. I don't have the details, but I do know that he died young, like 35, 33. He went on Social Security disability and he passed away. So asthma was very prevalent on my grandmother's side, and mysterious breathing issues also on my father's side. So does genetic predisposal have a lot to do with MCS? Absolutely, 100%. It sounds like it skipped a few generations, and I got the blunt from both sides. I think what it is we have underlying genes that protect ourselves, and when we're exposed to certain chemicals or molds or whatever, it turns those genes on, and in the process, as those genes get turned on or activated, it sets some of these conditions off, reactive airway disease or multiple chemical sensitivity or mast cell activation syndrome. But pretty short video, pretty simple. So to answer the question, yes, pregenetic disposal has a whole lot to do with some of the symptoms that you're having, or some of the things that got carried on. I know my mother, she was allergic to Tide. One of my cousins has chronic hives. Another one of my cousins, she has a light chemical sensitivity, but it's not severe like me or a lot of the people that's watching this video. Trying to think who else. My aunt, she has allergies. She developed allergies, pretty severe. So hives runs pretty common in the family. And I'm German. My family descendants, my ancestor that come over here was John Strew, and he had a son named Andrew, and his son was Charles, and then his son was Lacey Homer Stroop. That's my great grandfather, and so forth. John Stroop was a prominent landowner in the area, so they was, I don't know if it's where they changed environments when they moved over here from Germany. Their bodies are not adjusted to the pollen, if it set it off, or if they had the same issues before. But that's the earliest stories that I can recollect. My grandmother talking about it, that's showing up in the family. So hopefully I answered this question. God bless. Have a great day.